Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hi everyone, good day. Oh wow, what if you've been resilient all along and you just didn't recognize it? I just want you to pause with that for a moment. I just want you to pause. Just take a deep breath. And exhale. So yes, what if you have been resilient all along, but you just didn't recognize it? So think about that for a moment. What if resilient isn't something you are still waiting to discover or develop? But also, I love my what if. So what if it has been already been showing up in your life? In many different ways, it shows up, but we don't recognize it. But perhaps you just did not call it resilience. They call it a lot of different names, but we didn't know that that meant that we were resilient. So welcome to the Unstoppable Life with Verna Haywood, a safe place where we have honest conversation about life, healing, resilient, faith, and becoming. A place where you are invited to reflect, revitalize, and renew. As you discover the courage to heal, rise, and reclaim your God-given power. You know, we have this God-given power. So I am your host, Verna Haywood, and I am delighted to be here with you today. You know, last week I was supposed to do this show with you, but we planned things and it doesn't turn out the way we planned it because an emergency occurred and I had to attend to my husband. You see, he's important. You are important, but he is super important. So I had to attend him, and I'm sure you wouldn't have minded me having to take that time to ensure that he was safe and everything was fine. So I want to begin today a bit differently, but I just needed to tell you that and to apologize for not being here. Not that I need to, but I think it's just nice because we are becoming, we're developing a friendship and getting to understand and to know, and you'll be looking forward to this. So I'm going to ask you whether you think you are resilient. I hope you work with your pen and paper, because you know we always ask you to do that. So I hope you did that. So do you think you are resilient today? I am not going to ask you whether you think you are, but I'm asking you what your thoughts are. So I really want you to really think about it and what it is in your life How are you going to ask yourself what it looked like in your, what does resilience look like in your life? And have you ever had to get out of bed in the morning and you just didn't want to get up? You just didn't feel like getting up. You just didn't have the courage to get up. You didn't just want to face another day because maybe something happened and you didn't want to face that day. Have you ever felt disappointed and still have to find the courage to try again? It's not easy. I understand that. Have you had your heart broken and eventually had to allow yourself to trust again? See, trust is very important. I've had that happen, and trusting, oh, is a big deal for me. You have to start all over again. It's trust. So have you ever prayed when you couldn't see the answer? You just can't see the answer. So have you ever prayed about something you want an answer for? But you have to keep showing up. You have to keep showing up while privately wondering, oh, you would have to make it through. We have to keep showing up. You know, I mentioned something recently. I had to go to the doctor and I had to get my blood test, and my blood just wouldn't flow. And I had to see my I stopped because I wasn't going back again. You have to keep going. You just don't stop. You just keep going. So perhaps you never called it resilient because just maybe you have been, but it was never known as such. But you have always been resilient, always. So when we hear the word resilience, we often think about something dramatic. Oh, what's that? What do you mean about being resilient? When you hear it, right? Some people say it's bounce back. So you recovered from something. Be strong, be courageous, keep going. And yes, resilience includes all those things because that's what we knew, that's what our parents knew, that's what was passed on to us. It's only a couple of years ago resilience became prominent. The word resilience, unstoppable, all of that became, I think during the pandemic, we became so resilient. It's had coming out, the real word. And those of you who have heard me before would have heard me say that, you know, it's in 2020, I heard that I was resilient and I was unstoppable. But I have come to understand that resilience is much differently. You see, resilience is not always loud. Sometimes resilience is a whisper. Whispers. Try again. Try again tomorrow. Sometimes resilience is asking for help. You don't like to ask for help. I find it difficult to ask for help. But sometimes we have to. Resilience is about resting. We don't want to rest. We want to keep going. But we have to take a rest. Just have to, chill. Resilience is also about setting boundaries. Because if we don't set boundaries and people overstep the mark, we probably want to fly down. But we haven't set And it's about setting boundaries. And sometimes resilience is about saying no. You can't say yes to everything. But sometimes you want to fit in and you don't want to be the outcast. So you say yes. Yes, when you know the answer is no. So it's okay to say no. See, we can't continue like this. We have to be honest with ourselves and honest with the people that we are around. So resilience sometimes is allowing ourselves to grieve. It does not mean that, that somebody had to pass away, leave this earth to grieve. You might lose a friend, and that friendship was meant something to you, and something happened, and you lost that friendship for one reason or the other. And yes, it's okay to grieve. And sometimes it means walking away. You have to walk away from things because it becomes too much and it's upsetting and it's taking you to a place where you don't want to be. So yes, resilience means walking away. You see, and sometimes resilience is simply making it through. You have to make it through. You have to go through. The operative word is going through. That's the operative word, going through. You're going through. That means you're not stopping. You're going through. It is a journey. You're going through without knowing what tomorrow would look like. It's like you're going on a journey and you may take a wrong turn, but you have to go through to get back on track. You're not just going to stop there. So resilience isn't only found in the moment you rise. Sometimes it's found in the moment you decide not to give up. Giving up is not an option. It's just not an option. You just have to keep going. So perhaps we have been looking for resilience in the wrong place. When you're looking for something and you can't find it, and then you go, oh, no, it's not. It's over there. So you're looking for resilience in the wrong place. We look for the comeback, but resilience may have been started much earlier. You remember in one of my episodes, I said we were born resilient. It was in us all the time. So it may have started with a whisper. So we were a whisper, tiny head in our mother's womb. We were a whisper. So resilience it doesn't mean that we always have to be strong. It doesn't mean that at all. You see, that's what I've come to know. I've come to know that. I've come to know that there is a time when I understood resilience largely as getting through the difficult things. That's what I've come to. Being strong, carrying on, surviving. But life has taught me that resilience is much deeper than endurance. Even the endurance game, it's much deeper than that. Much deeper than the endurance. Because you know what? There has been seasons in my own life when I did not know what the outcome would be. And I'm sure you experienced that. You didn't know what the outcome was going to be. So, yes, there has been disappointment. Yes, there have been losses. And there have been moments when life looked completely different from what I expected it to be. I'm sure Job, he didn't expect to lose all his children in one day. He didn't expect to lose everything. And all of a sudden, everything is gone. Everything that he knew and loved is gone. But he had to keep going. So perhaps you have experienced that too. But what I have learned is that sometimes you don't recognize resilience while you are living it, because you are living in that moment and everything come crashing down at you and you don't recognize it. You recognize it afterwards. You look back and think, oh my God, how did I get through that? Oh no, how did that happen? Have you ever asked yourself that question? When you look back and you're thinking, my goodness, wow. And then you realize it. You then realize, you know what? You kept going. You adapted. You prayed. You asked for help. You learn. See, I have learned. I have asked for help. I rested when I needed to. And I began again. And maybe it was imperfect. It wasn't perfect. And just maybe I began slowly. But what I did, I continued. And that's why I no longer see resilience as simply bouncing back. Sometimes you don't bounce back. Sometimes we grow forward. We are growing forward. So you don't always have to recognize your strength while you are using it. I didn't always know I was being resilient either. You don't have to. So don't beat yourself up thinking, well, I need to know, I had to know. Why didn't I know? No, it just happens. And you just have to take that step. So when I think about, in my program, Reflect, Revitalize, and Renew, when I think about that, not what I want us to do, is not to remain in the past, not to judge ourselves. We'd like to judge ourselves. And the judge is the biggest leader of everything. They keep judging, and you get stuck. And you have to overcome the judge. But how are you going? Because the judge then brings the hyperachiever. It then brings the controller and everything. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, which one? So these are things you have to learn. How do I overcome the judge? How do I see the judge and recognize the judge and know that, hey, I recognize you today. No way, you're not going that way. So I just want us to, while we are on this break, I just want you to think, because you're going to take a short break. And I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it, how you reflect and what you're reflecting on. So as I said, don't stay in the past. Don't judge yourself. But learn from your story. That's what we have to learn from. So let's take a break and we'll be right back.
What happens when life tries to break you? When the pain is unimaginable, the losses are overwhelming, and every step forward feels impossible. There comes a moment, a choice. Will you surrender or will you rise? From breast cancer survivor to survivor of domestic abuse to inspiring thousands around the world, Verna Haywood shares a deeply personal journey of courage, healing, and transformation. This isn't just a story about surviving, it's about rediscovering your purpose, reclaiming your voice, and becoming stronger than the challenges you never asked for. Discover Unstoppable Resilience, Heal, Rise, and Reclaim Your Power by Verna Haywood. Continue the journey on the Unstoppable Life with Verna Haywood exclusively on USA Global TV and Radio.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome. So we started, I'm going to carry on where we left off. We talked about don't judging ourselves and that we had to learn from our story. Another one I'd like you to do is to ask yourself, where have I already demonstrated resilience? Where have you already demonstrated resilience? Think about something you once believed you would never get through. Think about it. Something happened and you thought you would never get through it. Maybe it's a breakup, maybe it's a marriage, you got divorced. Maybe somebody did something to you and you thought, I'll never get through that. But here you are. Here I am. What did you do? What did you do? Wait. Oh, who helped you? Who supported you? What did you discover about yourself in that moment when you were going through that, when you were going to get through it? What did that season teach you? Because you see, there is a lesson in everything. We often used to say that when something happened, oh, that's bad, that's so bad. Because again, that's what we were taught. This is bad. And we ever stopped to think that there's lots to be discovered? Have you ever thought that there is a lesson to learn? That thing that happened was meant to teach you something? So maybe you discovered courage. Maybe you discovered faith. Maybe you discovered, hey, I need to put boundaries in place. Or maybe you discovered that asking for help isn't weakness, it is a strength. Or maybe you discovered that you could begin again. I had to start all over again. And just maybe you discovered that you are stronger than the story you had been telling yourself, because we tell ourselves stories. I can't make it. Oh, it's so bad. Oh my God. Tell ourselves all sorts of stories. We do. So here's a question for you. Where has resilience already shown up in your life? I love asking the question. You don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to tell anybody at all. But tell yourself the truth. It's important to be honest with yourself. It's important to recognize that honesty. So where has resilience already been in your life? Now, here's another question for you. What has sustained you? What sustained you during that time? Because you see, resilience isn't about doing everything alone. We like to do it alone, but it's not about doing everything alone. Something have to happen, and somebody have got to be there with you. It's not about doing it alone. Who gave you strength? You had to lean on someone. You see, Moses, when he was getting the children through the Red Sea, he couldn't do it alone. And he stretched out his arms so that the sea would stay, on both sides, so that they can walk on dry land. He started to get tired. And he needed Aaron and Joshua to hold his hand up. So we do need people. We do need assistance. We cannot do it alone. We can't walk alone. In some way, we can, but not always. We need that help. Was it faith? Was it prayer? Was it a family member? Was it a friend? Was it a community? Did you have to rest? Did you receive professional support? Did you exercise? Did you walk in nature? Yeah, the seagulls, like this morning, I went out and heard the seagulls. It's like early in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, they start chattering. They start bringing in the day, enjoying it. Was it music? Do you love dancing? What is it that got you out of it? For maybe somebody believed in you when you couldn't believe in yourself. Or perhaps you had to learn to invest in your own well-being. And that could be any nature of things. See, I had to do that. I had to invest in myself. I had to take courses. I had to get mentors and coaches to help me in areas. And yes, prayer and everything help, but also you need people around you, a community of people around you. You can't do it alone. Is there a song, You Never Walk Alone? I think there is a song for that, You Never Walk Alone. So, this matters because when we understand what restored us before, when we understand that, we begin recognizing what we may need again. What we may need again. We may need something. We may need someone. So what restores you when life takes something out of you? Take something out. Take something out of you. What restores you? You see, and that's why in my work, my books, Unstoppable Resilience, Heal, Rise, and Reclaim Your Power, you will find little nuggets in here that will help you. The nuggets that will help you. And it's a collection of books, so it's not just one. It's a collection that will guide you, that will help you too. And I want to say, don't wait until you are completely depleted before answering that question. Don't wait. We say resilience is not only about your recovery, It's also about learning how to replenish yourself along the journey. When you're going on a journey, you stop. If you need some water, you need the bathroom. So you have to replenish and get going again. So you cannot continually give from a life you never replenish. When you're on an airplane, you say when something goes wrong, you put on your mask first before you can put on somebody else's mask. So you have to help yourself first. You have to restore. You have to revitalize yourself first. So you have to move forward. When you recognize where resilience showed up, you identified what helped you sustain it. Now, what will I do differently because of what I have learned? That's a question we ask ourselves. We have to ask you, what would you do differently because of what you have learned during that period? You see, this is where experience becomes wisdom. Maybe next time you'll ask yourself sooner. Maybe you will recognize the warning signs. Maybe you will protect your peace. Because sometimes you have to let certain things go to protect your peace. And maybe you will establish the boundaries that you need to put in place. And maybe you will stop interpreting every setback as failure. It's just not. You see, I have faced difficult times before. And I know something about getting through hard seasons. That does not mean the next time or the next challenge won't hurt. It doesn't mean that I won't be afraid or you won't be afraid. But what it means, you no longer enter the challenge believing you have nothing within you because you have so much within you. You see? So knowing, another question for you. Knowing what you know about yourself, how will you face the next difficult season differently? Knowing what you know about yourself, how would you face the next difficult season differently? You see, your past resilience can become evidence for your future courage. Yeah, it is. It is. So, I mean, this is an exciting time. And what I went through was hard, it was difficult, but I'm so appreciative of it so that I can share this with you. I have the privilege to share this moment with you. It is so enjoyable. So what I'd like to do is let us bring this together. So perhaps you started today's program thinking, I'm not particularly resilient, but now I want to look again. Look at what you have survived. I'd like you to look at what you survived. Look at what you have learned. Look at the times you started again. And you start again and again and again. When you fall down, you get back up. As I said in one of my previous messages, when a baby falls, it gets back up. It doesn't stay down. No, I'm not staying there. I'm getting back up. No way. I want to walk. I want to do this. I want to run. I want to do that. So he's going to get back up. So look at the moments when you kept going, even though nobody knew how difficult it was, because we keep everything on the inside. Look at the times you asked for help. Look at the times you rested and returned. Look at the times you chose hope. Hope. Hope is beautiful. We have to have hope. We have to have hope. So make resilience. Make resilience? No. Maybe resilience isn't about something you are missing. Just maybe resilience is something you haven't yet recognized, as I said earlier. So this is where you recognize. So in my 3-step program is reflect, recognize where you have already shown up, revitalize, understand what restores you and sustain you, renew, use what you have learned to move forward differently. That's what you do. Use what you have learned to move forward. It's a wonderful thing. It's really, really wonderful. And that's why I created the Unstoppable Resilience Framework. Reflect, revitalize, and renew. Because I don't want to simply inspire you here just for 40 minutes. I want you to read the books. I want you to get into it. I want you to get into the courses and learn and see where you have been and how far you can go. You know? It's deeper than you think. I didn't realize how the depth of it, but it's really, really deep. I want you to take something away and use it. And at the same, having a desire has grown into the Unstoppable Resilience Collection. 4 books. Well, it's a collection. We have the main book, the workbook, a 30-day journal, and a 22-week journal to take you deeper. This is a massive subject, and it can go on and on and on. You understand? So I want you to understand the depth of it. See, the collection includes, as I said, resources that are designed to help you move beyond hearing, reading about resilience, and start exploring it in your life. The main book helps you to understand the journey. The workbook helps you to explore your own story, because we all have a story. The 30-day journal helps you to begin practicing intentional reflection. And the 22-week journal gives you the space to deepen that work. And I also have some reflection cards, which are coming soon, to provide ongoing prompts to help you to continue the journey. So different tools, one purpose. Moving from inspiration into transformation. So you can discover more on my website. But remember, the book cannot do the work for you. You have to do it. So I just want to say thank you. Neither can the journal, neither can the workbook. They can create space where you decide. So I want to thank you for taking the time to be with me here today on this journey. And we will carry on this journey. So if anything that I have said in this moment that touches your heart, I want you to reach out. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care and God bless.
What happens when life tries to break you? When the pain is unimaginable, the losses are overwhelming, and every step forward feels impossible. There comes a moment, a choice. Will you surrender or will you rise? From breast cancer survivor to survivor of domestic abuse to inspiring thousands around the world, Verna Haywood shares a deeply personal journey of courage, healing, and transformation. This isn't just a story about surviving, it's about rediscovering your purpose, reclaiming your voice, and becoming stronger than the challenges you never asked for. Discover Unstoppable Resilience, Heal, Rise, and Reclaim Your Power by Verna Haywood. Continue the journey on the Unstoppable Life with Verna Haywood exclusively on USA Global TV and Radio.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USAGlobalTV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.